every time they go to testify, you talking over them, and the only thing it looks like to me is that you don't want me to hear what they're saying because they telling the truth. I'm about tired of this little attitude you got, because you got a nice girl, but you over there sniffing up at this little girl at work, letting her buy you food and pay your phone bill. Now you here in this courtroom. Don't be mad at nobody but yourself, baby.
Ms. Robinson is here, looking all fired up, telling the judge she's tired of Mr. Smith's cheating accusations. She's standing her ground, saying she's 100% certain that he's the father of her twins. On the other hand, Mr. Smith is over there looking all doubtful, claiming that his paternity doubts are ruining their relationship.
Ms. Robinson, you claim you are 100% certain that your boyfriend, Mr. Smith, is the father of your 2-month-old twins, Khalil and Keziah. You say you are tired of his constant cheating accusations and hope today's results will help save your family. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Smith starts spilling the tea, accusing Ms. Robinson of sleeping around with everyone and their mama. I mean, come on, really, Ms. Robinson is not having it. According to her, she's been with Mr. Smith for 2.5 years, given him 3 beautiful children, and all she's got back from him is crazy allegations.
Have you been accusing her of sleeping with everybody,
No,
Mr.
Your
Smith?
Honor. I don't accuse her of sleeping with everybody and her mama. It's only certain people I accuse her of sleeping with.
Okay, and who are those people? What's going on in the relationship?
Well, one situation, Your Honor, it's a neighbor upstairs. She came and got me from work one day. I hop out, he would confront me about a parking spot.
And then we have Mr. Smith dropping bombs about a neighbor upstairs. Apparently, this neighbor heard some things, saw some things, and even sent a creepy letter to Ms. Robinson. I mean, who does that?
He come over there unannounced all the time, popping up all the time.
Hold on, wait, no, you was lying. He came to the house one time looking for you.
He came over there multiple times without me even knowing. I'm at work.
Lord.
Why?
You gonna sit here and lie like that in court?
No.
Seriously?
Hold on, folks. Mr. Smith isn't done yet. He's now pointing fingers at his so-called friend, who he claims is like a brother to him. This friend has been coming over unannounced, flirting with Ms. Robinson and making Mr. Smith feel all kinds of ways. The courtroom is heating up, and we're just getting started.
I'm more concerned about the fact that you are consistently accusing Ms. Robinson of having sex with people outside of your relationship, but I need to know what the proof is. Have you ever caught her?
I have major proof.
He don't
major
have no
is
proof.
I was incarcerated from the 20th of July to the 3rd.
Ms. Robinson is not having any of it. She's denying all the accusations, saying she barely even knows this friend of Mr. Smith. But Mr. Smith is adamant, saying he's seen them giggling, laughing, and walking together. The tension between these two is off the charts, and we're here for every second of it.
Was Mr. Smith at the birth with you?
No. When I went to the hospital, he had left to get some food. And when he went to go get some food, the babies end up coming. He missed it, but he was up there, and then he came and seen my babies, and he gonna go out in the hallway and tell my mama, my babies look like somebody else.
They did. Neither one of them look like me.
And then we have Mr. Smith dropping the bombshell about Ms. Robinson being a screamer. Yes, you heard that right. Apparently, the walls in their apartment are paper thin, and the neighbor upstairs can hear everything. I mean, talk about awkward. The judge is trying to keep a straight face, but you can tell this case is getting crazier by the minute.
The other reason why you, that's why, hold on. Now y'all might try to out-talk each other, but you're not gonna over-talk me. Just let me get a word out. I wanna understand, if these children are not your biological children, you want your name removed from that birth certificate.
I feel like she forced my name on her anyway in the first place.
The accusations keep flying, with Mr. Smith claiming that Ms. Robinson is putting on a show for the neighbor. Ms. Robinson is defending herself, saying she's just enjoying her sexual experience. The judge is trying to make sense of it all, and the bombshells just keep on dropped.
And you still believe, though, that these children could be your best friends.
They look just like them.
So when you look at the babies, you see your best friend and not you.
Look at that, you don't see the resemblance?
Okay.
Same eyebrows, same
they do.
eyes.
Okay, they look alike, but that's not his
it.
baby. I have not even slept with this man.
As the case unfolds, we see Mr. Smith getting more and more worked up about this friend of his. He's convinced that something fishy is going on between him and Ms. Robinson. The tension in the courtroom is so thick you could cut it with a knife. The DNA test results are in, and we're about to learn the truth.
Mr. Smith, you are the father. What are you feeling in this moment, Mr. Smith?
We been going through a lot of stuff, man. I'm feeling like, man, I'm just feeling relieved. We been going through a lot of stuff. Feeling a lot of and accusing you all the time. And I apologize from the bottom of my heart. You won't have to worry about it no more.
Mr. Johnson is denying that he's the father of Ms. Walters' 2-year-old daughter, Amir. He's calling her a shady manipulator. Well, this is starting off spicy. Ms. Walters is not having any of Mr. Johnson's denial. She's here to prove that he's the father and wants him to step up to the plate. Let's see how this unfolds.
Mr. Johnson, you admit you engaged in a sexual relationship with the defendant while you were traveling for work, but deny her claims that you fathered her 2-year-old daughter, Amir, because you say Ms. Walters is a shady manipulator. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Walters, when you proved to him that Amir is his daughter, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Johnson is spilling the tea, saying that things were shady from the get-go when he met Ms. Walters back in 2015. They met on a dating app and things escalated pretty quickly.
Mr. Johnson, why did you question Ms. Walters' character from the moment you met her?
Because things were shady from the first day when I met her. I mean, I met her back in 2015, November, and I was just out of town, just looking to have some fun. And probably three days later, we met and we ended up sleeping together. So
how did you meet?
we met over a dating app.
Hold up, did he just say that her wedding ring fell out of her pocket while they were getting intimate? That's a red flag if I've ever seen one.
On the
Ms. Walters,
nightstand.
you had your wedding ring in your pocket?
The particular day that he's talking about, my wedding ring did not fall out of my pocket. The day that my wedding ring came about, it was me and 2 of my friends, well, one of my friends, I brung over for his friend, and I had my wedding ring in my pocket, and I pulled it out and put it back on. And he was like, "What is that?"
Exactly.
Ms. Walters is quick to defend herself, saying that the wedding ring incident didn't happen the way Mr. Johnson claims. This is getting juicier by the minute. But Mr. Johnson drops a bombshell of his own. Turns out he's married and has a whole girlfriend on the side. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black.
I already know what's up with you.
What do you know?
I know what's up.
So you're
She getting money. She getting money from another dude and spending and messing with me with it. So why would I?
So when you're sitting in the car and the phone rings, you just sit quietly.
Yes. Yep. Sit
But at
quietly.
the time, Your Honor, he
Wait, so
was,
you sit quietly or she tells you to be quiet?
She'd be like, shh. I'd be like, okay.
Ms. Walters had a lot to get off her chest, too. She revealed that she was also seeing other men while dating Mr. Johnson. The drama continues as Mr. Johnson recalls the moment Ms. Walters called him to say she was pregnant. He was quick to congratulate her, but then she dropped the bomb that the baby might be his.
All right, so you
Thought I
knew
was-
you had condoms, you had come prepared to have protected sex. And it is your recollection and your testimony today, you had protected sex with Ms. Walters.
Yes, Your Honor.
So when she calls you to say, "I'm pregnant," your response is, "Congratulations."
As the tension rises, Mr. Johnson questions where the money she received from another man went. Ms. Walters tries to explain, but things are getting heated in the courtroom. The phone call incidents in the car are brought up, with Mr. Johnson revealing that Ms. Walters would hush him up while talking to other men.
Who is this other guy he's talking about?
Well, I was dating
Some dude
this
she ain't
guy.
messing with no more.
I was dating this guy in the summer of 2014.
How dude
And
call
Mr. Johnson went digging in old Facebook photos and screenshotting
Sure
old
did.
pictures of old guys. At the end of the day,
Okay, Ms. Walters.
Oh.
Ms. Walters defends herself, saying that she had to meet another man for money while she was with Mr. Johnson. Now, Mr. Johnson is adamant that he's not the father of Amir, especially with all the shady behavior he's witnessed from Ms. Walters.
Okay, Ms. Walters.
Oh.
yes, Your
Let
Honor.
me ask you this.
No.
Why are you so convinced Mr. Johnson is the father if there was another guy?
Because I had a DNA test with that other guy, Your Honor, and it came back that he was excluded.
One other dude.
Oh,
Came back that he was excluded.
One dude.
did you
Husband.
bring evidence
One.
of that?
Yes, sir.
Let
I
me
did.
see that, please.
As the truth unfolds, it's clear that both Mr. Johnson and Ms. Walters have some skeletons in their closets. Who will come out on top in this paternity battle? Stay tuned for the next episode to find out.
Mr. Johnson, you are not the father. Ms. Walters, Mr. Johnson is not Amir's biological father. Do you know who Amir's biological father is?
Yep.
Well, after
That
Mr.
dude shouldn't mess
Johnson
with
left,
no
I
more.
did establish another relationship with someone else.
So we've got Ms. White here, who's claiming that her on-again, off-again boyfriend of 7.5 years, Mr. Holly, is the father of her daughter, Macalia. She's demanding that he steps up and takes responsibility. But hold on, Mr. Holly is not having any of it. He's adamant that he's not the father and has some receipts to prove it.
Ms. White, you are furious that your on-again, off-again boyfriend of 7.5 years got you pregnant and refuses to do do anything for your daughter. You say he better step up and be a daddy when today's results prove what you have always known, that he is Makayla's biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. White is in tears, pouring her heart out to the judge about how she's been struggling to raise her daughter alone. She's had enough of Mr. Holly's excuses and is ready for him to step up. You can feel the tension in the air as she pleads her case.
So I don't want my daughter to grow up without her father any longer. It's hard taking care of her by myself, and I need help.
And I can see right now you are overwhelmed.
I'm overwhelmed because I've been through too much by myself, and it's like you can't live your life and not take care of your responsibilities. Like, I'm trying my hardest to do it, and it's been almost 3 years, and it's getting harder.
Mr. Holly, on the other hand, is not backing down. He's sticking to his story that he's not the father and is throwing shade at Ms. White for supposedly crying wolf about being pregnant in the past. The judge is not having any of it and is ready to get to the bottom of this messy situation.
We was cool for a minute, but then, we might be cool 2 days. And then for 2 weeks, she on some trip junk, so I wasn't gonna pressure her.
So when you say cool for 2 days, does that mean you were still being intimate for those 2 days?
No, I wouldn't be there. Now, I might come in on a Wednesday, we might be intimate one week out of maybe a month that I'm gone.
Ms. White recounts the moment she found out she was pregnant. And let me tell you, it's a soap opera in itself. She was feeling different, confided in someone else, and ended up pregnant. But wait, there's more! Mr. Holly chimes in with his version of events, claiming that Ms. White had cried wolf about being pregnant before. The plot thickens.
I call myself, confiding in someone else. I had, I was with someone else that night.
You had sex with somebody else?
Yes, ma'am. And at that time, I didn't think I could get pregnant, so I wasn't thinking of pregnancy. So the moment I found out I was pregnant, I immediately called Mr. Holly because I was with him more than anything.
As the tension rises, Mr. Holly drops a bombshell about their rocky relationship and how he was always on the road, transporting cars from here to Miami. He's painting a picture of a tumultuous relationship filled with ups and downs. But is he just trying to deflect from the real issue at hand?
So you admittedly have not had any relationship with Makayla, the baby, for the past 2 years.
I ain't never seen her. I seen her on a picture.
And you have moved on with your life because you are certain that she is not your biological child.
That's right.
Do you have any other doubts as to why Makayla is not your biological child?
That baby don't look nothing like me.
The judge is not letting Mr. Holly off the hook that easily. She's grilling him about his lack of involvement in Makayla's life and his refusal to even meet her. It's clear that Ms. White is at her breaking point, and she's not backing down until she gets the answers she deserves. Will the truth finally come out?
Mr. Holly, let her testify.
He's very honest about me saying that I had DNA tests done with another guy. I did, Your Honor. I told him that because I didn't want to deal with Mr. Holly keep disclaiming my child. I didn't want to hear him saying that she wasn't his child. I didn't want to hear that because I couldn't believe that because I've been with this man for so long.
As the courtroom drama reaches its peak, both parties are at a standstill. Ms. White is desperate for Mr. Holly to acknowledge his daughter, while Mr. Holly is adamant that he's not the father. The tension is palpable, and you can cut it with a knife. The results are in, and we're seconds away from the truth.
Mr. Holly, you are the father.
Right. Exactly. So yeah.
I'm sorry, Mr. Parker. You were sincerely hoping this was your child?
I would too.
Miss Walton is here because she's convinced that her high school sweetheart, Mr. Cherry, is the father of her 1-year-old son, Josiah. But Mr. Cherry? Oh, he's not so sure. He's claiming that Miss Walton has been cheating on him left and right, and he's got some serious doubts about little Josiah's paternity.
Miss Walton, you say your 9-year relationship with your high school love is in jeopardy because he denies fathering your 1-year-old son, Josiah. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cherry, you claim that Ms. Walton cheated constantly with another man, and you are 100% sure that he is the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Miss Walton is laying it all out on the table, telling the judge that Mr. Cherry has been denying Josiah, treating him differently from their other kids, and basically just not stepping up as a father.
That's my high school sweetheart, so I actually have a lot of love for her. I have deep feelings and emotions for her. So I'm here today just to let her know that Josiah is not mine through the cheating and the lies.
There's a lot to lose. I mean, you have this 9-year relationship, your high school sweetheart. Tell me when it started to go wrong.
It started to go wrong around the time that after high school. You know, we was on and off. I lost contact, so it got kinda.
But hold on a minute. Mr. Cherry is not backing down either. He's here to set the record straight, claiming that their entire 9-year relationship has been built on lies. Lies, lies, and more lies. And he's not about to let Miss Walton off the hook that easily.
So you said you did what you wanted to do and she did what she wanted to do. Does that mean you all were dating other people and seeing other people?
Yes.
If he
yes,
cheated,
it
I
was.
cheated. If he lied, I lied. Do unto others as you want done to you.
It was pretty much fighting fire with fire.
So you all were in a tit for tat.
Yes.
He cheated first.
Okay.
I did that.
As the judge digs deeper into their relationship, it becomes clear that things started going downhill after high school. Miss Walton and Mr. Cherry were on and off, dating other people, and engaging in a whole lot of tit for tat. Cheating, lying, and controlling behavior were all part of the mix. It's like a soap opera, folks.
Basically, when I was with him, I didn't get conceived with Josiah until the week of Thanksgiving, which is on Thanksgiving Day, due to us eating and enjoying family.
Way before
you know, and we end up having sex. That's when my son was conceived. But when my son was conceived, I had stopped messing with my ex.
Miss Walton admits to cheating after Mr. Cherry strayed first, and it was a whole mess of drama from there on out. But the real bombshell drops when she reveals that she was seeing her ex around the time Josiah was conceived. Cue the gasps.
You're the one having the children in the relationship.
Yes.
So when it comes to Josiah, you've admitted that just the week prior to having sex with Mr. Cherry, you were with an ex.
Yes.
That makes
Yes.
the conception dates
Way off.
Rocky.
uncomfortably
I know.
close.
Rocky.
Mr. Cherry is not having it. He's adamant that Josiah is not his son, pointing to the timeline of events and the fact that Miss Walton was still involved with her ex around the time of conception. The tension in the courtroom is reaching its peak, folks.
This is when I went to my family member's house. This is what she told me. She said that a guy that came over that looked something similar like me but had goals in his mouth. You know, so I asked her.
Which is not true, Your Honor, because my
I
ex
asked
don't
her-
even have gold.
I asked her who the guy was, and she didn't say anything, you know, so a couple more days on down the line, you know, I started digging.
But Miss Walton is not backing down either. She's standing her ground, insisting that Josiah is Mr. Cherry's son and that he needs to step up and be a father. The emotions are running high, and it's clear that this case is far from over.
So, Ms. Walton, where is his place?
Probably at his house. And at that time, he was cheating too. So why should I be faithful to somebody that's not faithful neither, Your Honor?
So you basically admitting that during that time you were having sex with somebody else?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't deny. Why lie?
You're not supposed to lie in court, so I'm glad you told the truth.
So this is my third evidence.
As the judge continues to unravel the messy web of lies and deceit in this relationship, it's clear that both Miss Walton and Mr. Cherry have a lot at stake. Their family is hanging in the balance, and the truth about Josiah's paternity could change everything.
Mr. Cherry, you are the father. Feels good to hear that?
Yes.
I can see the emotion all over your face.
This is
Hard.
it's hard.
A year worth of
I mean-
denial being called
I mean, this
HOE.
Hold on, Miss Walton.
hard.
This is
So this case starts off with Miss Cousin and her mom dragging Mr. Bell into court, fed up with his shenanigans. They claim he's the father of Miss Cousin's 7-month-old son, Taquan, but Mr. Bell is dodging them like he's in the Matrix, blocking all contact and denying he's the daddy. And guess what? He's got a girlfriend of 6 years he's been cheating on. Talk about a love triangle gone wrong.
Miss Cousin, you and your mother say you had no choice but to drag the defendant, Mr. Bell, into court today because you're fed up with his lies.
Yes,
He
Your Honor.
denies being the father of your 7-month-old son, Taquan, and has even gone to the extreme by blocking all contact with you. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bell, you say she's trying to use this baby to bust up your 6-year relationship. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Cousin's mom, Sharonica, is spitting fire in the courtroom, calling Mr. Bell a two-timing liar who led her daughter to believe he was single. But wait, there's a twist. Mr. Bell's girlfriend, Ms. King, is in the mix, and she's been with him for 6 years. She's sitting there like a statue, probably wondering how she got mixed up with Mr. Slippery Fingers.
So, Miss Cousin, you're basically saying that Mr. Bell was a two-timer. He had your daughter thinking he was in a relationship with her, but he was really in a relationship with somebody else?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that true, Mr. Bell?
No. We went out once, but that was it. A whole weekend? No. I had to get back to her. You went out once, a whole weekend, yes.
Now, Mr. Bell is confident that the DNA results will kick Ms. Cousin out of his life for good. But let's be real, the only thing he's kicking is his own credibility out the window. Ms. Cousin is not having it, though. She's calling him out for mooching off her for lunches and phone bills. That's right, folks. Mr. Bell was living the high life on Ms. Cousin's dime.
Mr. Bell, first of all, let me make sure you understand something. I got this under control. I'm listening to the testimony. I'm gonna get to you. They're the plaintiffs. They're bringing this action, so I want to know why. Do you understand?
But wait, there's more. Ms. Cousin's mom reveals that Mr. Bell was playing house with her daughter, spending weekends together and having lunch dates. And Mr. Bell? He's got the nerve to say he only went out with Ms. Cousin once. Pfft, as if we're going to buy that.
End of the day, I want Cortez to step up and take the responsibility and be a man and help take care of his son. Because me and my husband have been doing it for the last 7 months. Buying milk, strollers, walkers, baby bed, car seat, everything. That take a toll on me. Destiny was on a good route.
The plot thickens when Ms. Cousin spills the beans that they were more than just lunch buddies. They were getting cozy multiple times, and Mr. Bell was all about it until the baby came into the picture. Now he's acting like he doesn't know her. Classic move, Mr. Bell. Classic move.
Once you know that, right?
No.
And so, what was the nature of the relationship in your mind?
We met at work. I only seen her outside of work maybe twice. We was never together because I had to go home to her. I was staying with her and my kid.
Were you flirting with her at work?
Yeah.
And here comes the kicker, folks. Mr. Bell's girlfriend, Ms. King, did some detective work and found out about the affair through a mutual friend. She saw Ms. Cousin's social media, all decked out with pictures of Mr. Bell. But Ms. King thought it looked immature compared to her own relationship with him. Oh, the irony.
No.
Well, you said you already ate the food 'cause she was buying it.
Yeah, she offered.
So, Mr. Bell, you said this was a one-time thing when you had sex with...
In a car.
Oh, okay, so you had sex in a car. Did you use protection?
Yes.
No lie.
Yes.
No lie.
Miss Cousin and her mom, they're claiming that this was going on. This was an ongoing relationship. That's not true?
No.
Ms. Cousin is tearing up, telling us how Mr. Bell came over to see the baby once and had the audacity to ask for sex. And get this, he had a flat tire and needed help from Ms. Cousin's family to fix it. Talk about a freeloader. But Mr. Bell denies it all, saying he's never even been to their house. Yeah, right. And I'm the tooth fairy.
How did it go?
When I came home, I called him. I said, I'm pregnant. He said, oh, well, call me back. Let me know what you gonna do. And that was it, and he hung up the phone.
Did you tell your manager at work?
I told my manager, because that's the day that my back was hurting. She said,
And she
you can
told
go.
me the baby wasn't mine. I don't want
Why
the
is
baby
you-
by you anyway.
Judge Lake is not having any of Mr. Bell's nonsense. She's calling him out for his constant interruptions and side comments. She's laying down the law, telling him to be mad at himself for getting into this mess. Preach, Judge Lake, preach!
Well, we just want it to be
me.
over with, Your Honor, because we really want him to help take care of this baby. You know, Destiny just got a new job now, and I want her to stay positive. I want her to go
now
to
she wanna
college.
stay positive.
That's one
She
thing
went
that I
positive when
want
she
her
was
to
out here
do.
hoeing around.
Well, you
She
can
went
say
positive
whatever you
then.
want to say at the end of the day. How you know what she was doing when you
All right,
stayed over
let's
there?
get some order. Let's get some order.
Now, Ms. King is finally speaking up, and she's as quiet as a church mouse. She's never heard about Mr. Bell visiting Taquan or anything about a flat tire, but she admits her father has an Impala, which is the car Ms. Cousin mentioned. Things are starting to connect like dots in a children's activity book.
Do you believe he just slept with her one time in the back of a car?
Part of me, yes. You know, because he's always with me.
Miss Cousin, I want you to tell the court the nature of your relationship.
We slept together 3 times, unprotected, and he know that.
Where'd you all go?
We'll go anywhere.
Where we went.
The moment of truth is upon us, and the DNA results are in. Is Mr. Bell really Taquan's father, or was he right to have dodged all those bullets? Let's find out.
Mr. Bell, you are the father.
Thank you, Lord Jesus. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You silent now?
I'll take my child support papers in the mail.
You've been chirping off all day.
All
It
day.
is what it-
You could not let them get a sentence out
It
without
is what it is.
downplaying everything they said. Everything.